Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich will travel to the Etihad Stadium later today to face Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Now Guardiola has a score to settle with Tuchel, because when Tuchel was the coach of Chelsea, they defeated City 2-1 in the final of the 2021 edition. 1-0. So, will Tuchel trip up Guardiola again? That's the question we are asking in this live. Hello and welcome to WION Sports Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur. I am joined by my sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria. You know, on one hand you have Pep Guardiola's well-oiled machinery, Manchester City, whoever, beast of a striker in the form of Erling Haaland. And on the other hand, Tuchel is still settling at Bayern Munich. Do you think it's advantage Pep for this clash?
No, if you're specifically looking at this match, it is advantage Man City because they're playing at home. And City at home are, as you said, they use the word beast, they're a different beast. Remember what happened in that previous round? Who was it? Who came there? Leipzig. 6-7, how many?
7-0.
And that was, they eased off after the 50th minute. So for Thomas Tuchel, what is a win? For Thomas Tuchel, it is about damage limitation. If Bayern go back, which are a draw, and any kind of draw, one goalless, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, whatever, because City will score. And Bayern don't have the best defense. If he takes this tie back to Munich, then that's a win for him. Because everything points to a City win. They have Erling Haaland who's scoring goals for fun, who knows this Bayern team which hasn't changed too much from the time when he played against them last year. But for me, I just think that we should never forget one thing, that Manchester City, for all that they've achieved, have never won the Champions League. Bayern Munich are regulars at this stage. They know how to play the occasion. And many players in this Bayern team just crave, they like the Real Madrid of European football, right? Okay, Real have won, say, 14, could be 15 this year, but Bayern have been in the knockout rounds perhaps every season they've played. It's a rarity that Bayern don't reach the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think when you manage a team like Bayern, you use the word settled. When you come into a team like Bayern Munich, you don't have any time to settle, especially for Thomas Tuchel. They are expected to win the Bundesliga. That is a given. If he does not win the Bundesliga, there will already be, question marks over his employment. But he did well, beat their biggest rivals, Borussia Dortmund, in his first game. He did lose the match. Their treble quest is over. But this is what matters. They want to win that. When you are at Bayern Munich, there is pressure every season to win the Champions League.
No, it's the same as Real Madrid.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Because that is
because you can't have that, say, in the Premier League. In the Premier League, Premier League has to be won. But for example, a team like Real, a team like Bayern, you have to be there at least in the semis.
And Bayern are a completely different beast in terms of they have won the Bundesliga 10 seasons in a row. Like you can take that for granted. Almost. And obviously their fans now do take that for granted, that they will be German champions at the end of the season.
No, hang on, they would have been German champions at the end of the season as well. They still sacked Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Because they saw a slight drop in standard.
Exactly. And obviously there was some problem with the board. But like you mentioned, like Bayern Munich, they are regulars at this point. Of course, Manchester City, first leg at home, you would expect them to, probably edge a victory.
But it won't be a 5-0 game.
Yeah, it definitely won't. But as we have seen, their squad, Bayern squad, they have Champions League winners in them. Manchester City will have the pressure on them for the first leg because they have to lay down the marker.
Yeah.
Going back to the Allianz Arena for the second leg, if it is a 50-50 tie, you would back Bayern. And plus, as we said, people, are of the belief that Thomas Tuchel has Pep Guardiola's number.
Kryptonite? Is his kryptonite?
Yes, and as we saw, and tactically, if we go back to that Champions League final in 2021, Tuchel got the better of Guardiola.
Yeah, there was no way Chelsea should have won that match. Let's be very honest. Yeah. There was no way Chelsea should have
won. But I think that was a disaster by Guardiola not playing a defensive midfielder. Sometimes he overdoes it.
He overthinks. No, he says overcomplicates things. But I loved his defense, and this is very important. He just said it after the Masters. He says, how many majors did Jack Nicklaus win? So Jack Nicklaus won 18 majors, 6 of them at Augusta, but he also played, say, 130, 140 majors. He also said how many NBA championships did Michael Jordan, the greatest athlete that he has seen, win? 6. Across how many seasons? So he's trying to build a case that, okay, the Champions League isn't something you can win, I think
It's fair.
it's fair. Just Real Madrid have done it. And till Real won it a second time, I think nobody had won it thrice in a row.
Nobody had won it twice in a row since it became the Champions League.
Yeah.
No team had won it twice in a row. Even when Real won it the first time under Ancelotti, I think it was 2014, they had not won the competition for more than 10 years.
Since the Zidane era.
Exactly.
That volley against,
and
who was it against?
Leverkusen. Michael Ballack's Leverkusen. So, and you have seen it with other teams as well. Spain, the great Spanish side, they had won nothing for 40 odd years.
Yeah,
they won the 2008 Euros and then became one of the
most, and then 2012,
most dominant, one of the most dominant sides we've ever seen. So, sometimes it just takes that one trophy, but this is the Champions League. So
no,
it's
and
not.
Also, we need to understand when you talk about the Champions League, the difference in class between, say, a Premier League and a Champions League. Liverpool win it, and the next year they go out in the second round.
Yeah.
PSG out in the second round.
Yeah.
What class they have. So at that level, it doesn't make a difference if you're a champion of England or you're a champion of Spain. I think when you're looking at the top 3 teams across I wouldn't count the French league there, but say Spain, England, Germany, at least 6 or 7 teams are of the same level.
And also the format, like we see, because all the talk around Guardiola and Manchester City is about the Champions League, them winning the Champions League. So that added pressure, especially because every season they don't win, and the manner in which they were knocked out last season, they choked. It was a complete choke. I mean, they should have gone through. They dominated the tie against Real Madrid. They had to play out a few odd minutes, and they choked. And that has happened time and time again. So the pressure, once again, if it's a close tie, the pressure and what will start going through the players' heads. So they need a calm head, and they need a difference maker in that situation, which of course they bought the one and only Erling Haaland to do that.
Or De Bruyne.
Yeah, of course, but De Bruyne has been there.
But on the other side, in Bayern, you have people who've been to the situation. Muller's been playing for some
veteran,
Kimmich, Goretzka. Teams come, teams go. These people have been constant. They just know.
They know.
That's why even for Real, at 37, why does Ancelotti still want Modric? Why does he still want Toni Kroos? He doesn't want him to win the league. He wants them for these guys.
And this is the most informed squad that City has. Grealish has been back in form. He's scoring goals for fun. You have Haaland scoring goals.
Munich aren't in good form.
Munich, they're leaking goals.
Leaking goals.
So I think this is one of the best chances for City to.
City need to score 4.
And of course, Manuel Neuer, he's not available.
Yeah.
They have a good goalkeeper in Jan Sommer, but of course, Manuel Neuer, when he's there at his peak, captain, the confidence that he exudes, especially in the defense, it's something completely different. So,
but just think of it, both of you. Does Guardiola go for the jugular and tell his team, I want 4 goals today? Don't concede, I want 4 goals. They can do it. But does he throw the handbrakes off? Because earlier, Vidur, when the home and away system is no longer there, right?
the away goals.
The
Advantage,
goals, right? Yeah. So it's 2 legs and a penalty shootout after that.
Yeah.
So does he throw off the handbrake?
I think he will tell the players to go.
Or are they anyway playing with the handbrake down?
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a goalless draw. They will go for it, and I think
Not a Liverpool Chelsea.
I think he will unleash Haaland. He'll say just go and score as many goals as you can. What do you think?
No, but Haaland doesn't need to unleash him. Actually, you just tell his team, get the ball to Haaland in the box.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think they will play aggressively and they will go for goals.
They definitely will, but the thing is that in a 2-legged tie against top quality team, even though they're not in good form, Bayern Munich are a top quality side. To go for the jugular, of course, it's easier said than done. I still think that Bayern Munich will cause Manchester City problems. Their attack is
Yeah, and City plays
very
a high
good,
back line.
quality, yes.
And so they will definitely attack on the counter.
And even Manchester City will have more of the ball, especially at home. But
They will have more of the chances as well.
yes, but Bayern Munich, we've
But
seen.
are we here? This is the question you asked, right, in this chat. This is where you will have to see the tactical nous of Tuchel.
Yeah.
How does Tuchel stop City from playing? I think to stop City from playing, you have to target two players, De Bruyne and Rodri.
Yeah.
Which he has done in the past. So Guardiola has also mentioned in the past that it's so tough playing Thomas Tuchel's side because he packs the midfield. He doesn't allow his midfielders, that's De Bruyne or whoever is playing there, to sort of get that freedom because he plays. There's a three-man midfield and he packs it, and that's what he did with Chelsea. And Tuchel created a very, very good Chelsea side, which did not win.
No, but what you're talking about right now,
Yeah.
you said we spoke about give the ball to Haaland, but if the ball doesn't come to Haaland, what does he do? So he's going to be frustrated. He's not going to track back.
Yeah,
his job is to be there. He reminds me of Raul, the ultimate coacher.
Yeah.
His job is to bank the goals in. That's why they got him in, to just score those goals. That's why they've been on a different level. I just think this is where the game will be won.
Exactly. And that's
If Tuchel can stop De Bruyne from spraying those balls and Rodri from controlling that midfield, then it's half the battle won.
exactly because
Let's face it, they've got tricky wingers as well.
Of course.
yeah,
Bayern have got tricky wingers.
Sane, Gnabry,
And
then Musiala.
wingers who can put the ball in the back of the net. More
and they were
important.
wing backs in Davies who can.
Yeah. So
And the point that you were making, that's what happened at Old Trafford. Eric Ten Hag cut the supply to Holland. They marked De Bruyne, and United won.
City are not unbeatable.
Yeah, they're not.
They can be beaten, and Tuchel knows that.
Beaten by a lot of-
Yeah, exactly.
They should have
Exactly.
lost.
So Tuchel knows that better than anyone else. So he might get one over his old foe again. Let's see. Do we have any questions?
Samson says, will Tuchel trip up Guardiola again? Samson says only if Pep will leave Man City to another team or else won't win the cup as a coach in the club.
That's a strong statement, and one that we have sort of discussed in the past, that Guardiola needs to win the Champions League for his time at the Etihad to be a success, because let's be honest, that is what he was brought in to win. He was brought in to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
This is on a message which has come. This is from Sir Umar Sani Umar, and I hope I'm getting that right. In football, there is a god of soccer. Doesn't matter how small the team is, can win. I go for Bayern to win today and tomorrow for Chelsea to win a draw. Interesting. Wow. Thank you for that. We'll talk about the Chelsea game in detail tomorrow.
It's funny that Bayern are being referred to as underdogs in this clash. Bayern are not. Yes, of course. Of course, this is Manchester City versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals. This is what the Champions League is all about.
This is the standout tie.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Chelsea Real Madrid currently is not the standout tie.
Yeah.
Napoli, Inter Milan, no. Benfica, Napoli,
AC Milan.
And
They're good ties, but this
is
European royalty.
marquee
European royalty. Actually, Manchester City are European royalty now because they have been one of the best sides in Europe for the last few seasons. So they are, and of course, Bayern Munich.
So
is Bayern Munich.
before we go to the poll prediction,
Man City to win. Man City to win, but it won't be a rout. So again, I'm saying if Bayern can go back with either a draw or even a one-goal deficit, I think they'll take it.
Man City to win 2-1 tonight, and I will give my second leg prediction later.
I think the same. Either it's a
I also think 2-1
there
is
will be goals,
feel
but
like.
if Tuchel will take it. Let's say Tuchel will take a 2-1.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
So our poll: will Tuchel trip up Guardiola again? Only 32% people say yes. No, 68%.
So two-thirds going for a Man City win.
So yeah. And what do we have on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST?
Well, we have obviously all the Champions League. We're going to look at Barcelona, who are unable to close out the La Liga title. I just thought that if they had won last night, the La Liga race was over.
Yeah.
But it's, They drew, so it's still 13 points.
And they drew against a team who has never kept one clean sheet in the entire season.
There's tennis action from the Monte Carlo Masters. And Djokovic is back today. He's playing sometime in the evening, and it's going to be his first game since he lost to Medvedev in the Dubai final. We're also going to look at a thrilling T20 game. I must confess, what we said yesterday in that show almost came right, but it's the first half we're getting right. I switched off, I'll be honest. I was watching the game, and I switched off when Krunal Pandey got out saying game over. And then this morning I realized, that's another one. So we look at that as well, and we'll obviously set up the play-in tournament for the NBA. You can set it up for us. How does it work?
Los Angeles Lakers will play the Minnesota Timberwolves in what you can call an IPL-like qualifier. So whoever wins this match will go straight to the playoffs, but it's not over for the loser. The loser will play another eliminator, and
against the team 9 and 10.
Yes,
the winner
exactly,
of that game.
Exactly. So they will play another eliminator, and the winner of that match will be the final team, the 8th seed in their respective conferences. So we'll set up that, and we'll explain all that as the NBA postseason officially begins.
And before Nikhil wraps it up, reminder that there is a battle of the basement tonight in the IPL. Not two teams you would think would be in the basement, the Mumbai Indians and the Delhi Capitals. So we'll look at that game on a similar WION Sports Xtra IPL special live at 7:10, 7:12. We just wait for the teams to come out because it's very confusing till we have those teams. So watch out for that at 7:10.
And do tune into our show at 6:30 p.m. IST.